Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 58 of our Let's Play series, Stalingrad to Berlin, playing as the Soviets. We're just getting into middle of June here, turn 31. We're in the first phases of the turn. I've moved past on the air execution phases. We actually have a whole bunch of rain moving in, so I really limited what they're going to be doing and grounded most of the aircraft. The forecast is that next turn also will be rain, and it's a little less interesting to rain in terms of the air operations phase, and that we're not doing too much there because of it. It's more interesting, I think, because we will have to see how that plays out in the situation of mud, and whether or not the Axis player gets a bit of a break as a result of mud conditions and that slowing our advances, etc. But that hasn't quite set in yet, so hopefully we can make a lot of really good progress before conditions on the ground deteriorate a little, because we have been balancing as best we can this overextension and supply situation of our forces as we have so many breakthrough points. Getting the rail lines caught up in time and such has proven to be a little difficult in some areas, so roads that are muddy, and the more hexes, and each hex being a 10-mile stretch that those trucks have to carry supplies on, when those roads are in a state of just disrepair and mud, that makes it much more difficult to resupply our units. So that'll be something that kind of on a macro scale we're going to have to think about for the next couple turns, I think. Getting started here, right around the Leningrad pocket, we did see during the simulation of the Axis turn that they actually had a couple of counterattacks up here. Now, they weren't able to break through, and I was quite surprised to see them attacking up here, but I got a little nervy for a little bit because they really did make a push here. They didn't have good odds here. They did outnumber us by 10,000 men, but ultimately they were unsuccessful, and they lost all 6 of their armor, which I think were probably Stug units based off the composition. Yep, they were. So they lost all of their Stug 3s, so they're now left without any. And then over here, they actually attacked twice, really trying to break through, because we do have a bit of a weak point here where we just have 18 defensive value. And when you look at what they have presented, that does give them almost 2-to-1 odds. I think it's reflecting a little differently in the on-map estimates based compared to the battle report, because we've probably deteriorated a little bit our position. They lost 1,400 men, we lost 1,000. They also lost 11 armor. And when we take a look at that, again, it was all a concentration of Stug 3s, because we don't have any Panzer divisions that are participating in this. And then the second attack, they again lost about 1,100 men compared to our 600, so we managed to hold them off. We did lose 1 level of fortification level, and that's, again, probably why our defensive value is reflecting worse odds than what our math on the map says. Yeah, so I was a little surprised to see them try to push through, because even if they had been victorious, I don't know what it does for them, because we know that their situation is quite in peril here with the advances that we're making to the south we're going to get to in just a moment. Additionally, they did push back. We had sent forward a rifle brigade to try to cut off this rail line, because you see that they do have this double-way rail line going down south through Peskov. We managed to interrupt last turn with that rifle brigade, but here you see they were forced to retreat. There's nothing there, just an observation, and then again they pushed us back a second time. So it's nothing too surprising there. We didn't really even lose many men, so nothing lost, but a little bit gained, so that's a good trade. And you also see that it's left again this hole in between their lines here, which maybe we'll take advantage of. We'll have to see how everything plays out with the assault on Peskov. As usual, north here around Leningrad, I'm not going to make any changes or any attacks. The only thing that I am going to do is I'm going to take a rifle division from this hex and swap it out with a weaker unit down south here. So you see, like, we have these 3 rifle divisions that are all between 6,700 men and 5,700 men. So I'm going to take the weakest of these Let me see now, this is a little difficult of a decision to make because the 111th Guards Rifle Division and the 311th Guards Rifle Division have higher fatigue, but they have more men. So, yeah, you know, I think I'm just going to take 2 of these rifle divisions off the front line and take them back there. And then I'm instead going to take the 285th Rifle Division south to reinforce. I'm also going to take the 198th. So that gets us up to 23 now, which means they won't have 2-to-1 odds. Over here, then, we're going to take the 311th, situate them here just to make sure that we're fine. There really shouldn't be any worry at all there. And then I'm going to set the 281st to reserve. I'm not going to set these guys to refit. I'm not going to take them off the line and refit. There's a reason these HQs have the lowest supply priority, because getting men to this Leningrad front is not a priority. I need all resources, all supplies, trucks, armor, men to go towards the pushes around Riga, Minsk, and the Crimea. Those are the focuses. This right here is really quite irrelevant, but we've taken a couple of precautionary steps to try to prevent from them exploiting that weak point we did have in our front line. Looking throughout, though, again, as usual, we're not going to exhaust resources trying to break through in any of these locations either, which makes this review of the front a lot easier. Continuing south, though, working our way to Peskov, you see that they have this little pocket here, this mountain division kind of holding the line in this pivot spot by Lake Ilmen. We're going to let them continue to hold that because we're stretched pretty thin here with just 1 unit in each of these hexes as part of our efforts in the previous turns to shuffle or sidestep down all of our excess elements to focus on the attack on Peskov. And you can just quite visually see this effect, right, where we are looking very thin right here, but it's just because we're just holding a defensive stance. I'm not trying to advance this line in any capacity. South in Peskov is where we're putting our focus. Back here we do have this rifle division in reserve, and we're actually going to take this now and move it south to try to assist with all the operations we've got going on down here. So I'm going to take it and I don't know if I want to move it all the way up here. I think I will. And then here, this rifle brigade, again, a little sacrificial, but I'm going to do this, is I'm going to take this rifle brigade and move it up to this hex to, again, to try to cut that supply and force them into attacking. And here they might not even have a full 2-to-1 advantage. And what I'll do is I'm actually going to set this rifle division to reserve, hoping that they may be able to assist if they do try counterattacking. That might be a nice little surprise against the Axis player. Those are just HQ units. So now we get around Peskov, and as usual, we're going to skip some of these hexes because we want to jump immediately to the Peskov area, and then we will work our way north and we'll work our way south. We're not going to do this continuous trail north-south. So one of the first priorities, right, is just to encircle the city. So with that, I want to, as quickly as possible, take these 2 hexes and these 2 hexes. The difficulty is that they have zone of control in these hexes, so I'm not going to be able to do it all in this one turn. But I am going to start moving forces forward to cut these guys off. Take him up here too. So that gives us 13. Plenty against these guys. And then we're going to take some of our stronger units here and move them forward. I think I might take... We've been pushing pretty hard here, so we don't have a lot of full-strength rifle corps or anything like that. I'm going to take this rifle division from back here and move it up. And then let's also take this guy. Move them up. So that gets us up to 10. Should be enough. The real difficulty is going to be dislodging this unit here. I think in the next turn they have a fortification level already, and it's not looking like we're immediately going to have something that can get up there and be very impactful. That rifle division is in an unready status, so we're actually going to switch them to refit, move them back 1 hex to their HQ. Then here, let's move these guys forward. And I think what I'm going to do is bring these 2 hexes up here, these 2 elements up here, excuse me. And then the combination of these 2 I'm hoping can dislodge this hex in the next turn. And then we're going to take this stack and move them up here. I'm actually going to push these guys back now. Well, I have... Oh, we can't. We've exhausted everything there. Move you forward. You up here. And get this rifle division there to support. We'll set this guy on reserve. Alright, so that kind of makes up the line south of Peskov. We have another unit that's in refit status here. It's fine. Let's actually take all 3 of you and move you forward, I think. Well, actually you're... don't have any depots up here yet, because we also probably haven't gotten any of these rail lines repaired yet. So we're going to leave you there for now. I might revisit that in a moment here. But now we're going to keep pushing as best we can north of Peskov as well, right? And to do that, I'm going to take this rifle corps over here. This rifle corps will go here. Take both of these units to attack this unit. With better than 2-to-1 odds, they retreated. This entire stack moves west now. Have these guys break through here. They retreated. Let's see. Yeah, I think we will move them all forward. Don't think we'll have the capacity for this. Yeah, it's not going to be that successful, so we're going to hold. But the next turn we're in a good position to try to break through there. But instead, I have seen an opening. There we go. We've cut off north of Peskov now. Take that rifle corps there too. It's going to exhaust them, but now got defensive value of about 6 up there. Moved you yet? No. So what I'll do is I'll have you come north. And we can take this rifle brigade, move them here, reinforce. So now from a defensive value perspective, we're sitting closer to 8. But the north of Peskov is now cut out. Excellent news. So now all that's remaining is next turn. The priority will be breaking through this hex, and then Peskov is encircled. And right, for some perspective here on how well this has gone for us, let's look at the historical capture dates. Peskov, the Soviets didn't get until July of 44. So 13 months and 1 week. If we were to capture it this turn, 13 months and 1 week ahead of schedule. So it'll probably end up being just a little bit more than 12 months ahead of schedule by the time we actually take the city. That's just incredible. That's just really fantastic news. I will also be curious to see if they make the decision to withdraw from the city or withdraw one of the infantry elements or something, because Peskov right now is not a very defensible position, especially once I've got it surrounded. I mean, it's not like it's Odessa or something. It's not going to last more than a turn, maybe 2 turns once it's encircled. So I'll be curious to see if they pull back one or both of those elements with that knowledge. I think I would certainly consider that, because I don't know that the different. So us capturing Peskov 13 months ahead of schedule, I don't know if there's a difference between capturing it 56 weeks ahead of schedule or capturing it 55 weeks ahead of schedule, but having an infantry division at full strength to help reinforce Riga or other areas of the front right now, that might be impactful, right? That's kind of how I would look at it. But I'm not the computer player, so we'll see what they do. Goodness knows they have a habitat here for surprising me. So, habit, not habitat. That is a different word. Habit. So we'll see if they continue to surprise. But cutting off this is just fantastic. I'm so happy about this, because now, you think about this, guys. This entire pocket, the entire pocket south of Leningrad, only has one rail line supplying it. Just that one rail line. That is so exciting to me, because that, in a couple of turns, is going to have such a huge consequence on these forces. They don't even have a port, because they never took Leningrad. Right? They can bring in stuff from a port perspective to Lin, but still, it just has to traverse this one rail line. Which then I think will also raise the question of, do we have enough forces here to maybe pivot them in a dash north along this rail line, just to try to cut it off and do a complete encirclement? Is really not going to be a priority, though, because I am of the belief that no matter what, we will get these guys encircled by the very fact that we are on track to capture Riga in, I mean, best guess, say 2 months. I think we could have Riga itself captured. It'll take a little longer to take the city, because as a port it can stay supplied, so even once we've encircled it, it might take a while to actually take the city. But there's just no feasible way they could evacuate all of these forces, pretty much the entirety of Army Group North, even in 2 months if they tried. If they start it this turn, and they won't start this turn, because they will maintain hope and not going to get into that. Things are going well. Extremely happy with the status of everything. Only questions I have left here sitting going, do I try to do anything with these 2 units that are sitting in the back right now? Because of our consolidation of forces, they're not able to be impactful in their current hexes. I think I'll take this guy down south here. Maybe even have him break through here. Oh, an infantry division was committed. Okay, so he wasn't going to work. But now we know there's something here. So that's good at least. And then I think we will... I don't know if I go north or south with this guy. I'm thinking south, because again, the pressure on Riga is so important. But you know what? I'm going to go north here, just to try to help prevent a counterattack. And that is really, really good defensible terrain that unit is in right now. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. You are still within range of everyone. That's good. You are 31st Army. This is getting exciting here, guys. This is getting real exciting. For here, I don't think we have enough to attack. And with the reserve unit, we probably wouldn't anyways, now that we know that. I'm going to leave this guy back 1, because I don't want him to be facing the pressure of 3 hexes. Because we don't need to push due west here. We need to push around Peskov and Riga. Priorities, right? We got to stick to that. Looking south to that note, I'm going to do the same tactic here, where Let's focus on the spearhead approaching Riga. And then we can review between the spearhead and north, and then we'll continue on the review of the line south. And right off the bat, one of the things I'm seeing is that I need to bring up some of these HQs. And I want to see where these guys are being resupplied from. It looks like most of this group is being resupplied from this depot. Oh boy, this guy has units all over. So I'm just going to focus on getting you forward. You again have units split here. You're in a much better position with this core set of units, so I'm just going to move you a little bit this way. Back here, yeah, you're split all over. So I'm going to bring you up here. This HQ unit, primarily they're in the south here, so we're going to bring them up. We have a rifle corps on refit there, which it looks like you are good to go now. Oh, look at that. A rifle corps all ready to go. A rifle division to boot. Look at that. The power of being on a rail line, on a depot, with your HQ. That really helps with getting you back in ready for the fight. We're going to leave that for now because we're focusing on the HQs here, as we mentioned. The Kalin front, you're fine. Yes, we have our two fronts back here, and they're perfectly well within range. So there's no need to bring them up any further. Alright, so now that we've done that, I'm going to get back to the spearhead, I think. So we got, again, a bit of a bottleneck, right, where we have lots of stacks of 3 back here that we need to find the most effective ways to get them forward and to keep leapfrogging each other. And one of the first opportunities, I think, would be to say, hey, this tank corps, let's push forward and try to push back this Sturm Brigade, which should be a pretty simple matter, frankly. But a concern that I have is if there are units in reserve that are helping them. I'm not sure I want to waste those points right now. Here's what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to first attack west here. Yep, so there's an infantry division in reserve. So they held. Okay. So now we're going to attack with these guys. And they retreat at that time. Good. Now I'm going to attack with this unit. Ooh, okay, there's another one in reserve, so he's not going to break through. Yeah, not even close. So what I need to do is bring up like this tank corps. This tank corps. We're going to do that again. Again, they were committed to the defense, and they held. Ooh, and we lost 74 armor. Okay. So what I've got to do now is get this tank corps back. And we're going to take some of these guys forward. Nice little switcheroo here of forces. So now we have this stack of mechanized units we're going to push through. That was very successful. Good. This entire stack now. Do I really not have enough to... Okay. It's a little disappointing. The rifle divisions get up there? No. So let's get that tank corps south there. And then, how do I want to do this? I'm going to move up these infantry units. that rifle corps up there. There we go. So now we've protected our southern flank as we move up all of these rifle units. Now we're going to have them attack the armor. The 27th Panzer. Alright, very successful. Look at that, the 27th Panzer was down to 37 armor. They lost another 25 there. That's just incredible. So now, is there anything I've got that can leapfrog ahead? Yes, there is. There is. Excellent. Bring up that mechanized corps too. Okay. Then we have our airborne brigades, which can't quite make it. Well, you could make it up there. Let's just hold on that for now. I want to keep looking. This tank corps can get up there. So let's attack north here now. Infantry was committed. We might still be able to break through, though. Ooh, no, they held. Okay. We are pushing, though. This is good. This is going very good. Very well. Let's take this stack and attack. Nope, we already did with them. This mechanized unit. Let's get them forward here. See, I got myself into a pickle here with these infantry units. So what I want to see is I'd really like to get like some of these guys up here. Let's do this. We got these units. Yeah, they're not going to make it up. Never mind. But knowing that we have them, we can maybe be more aggressive with units we have back here. Problem is, their zone of control, they're already losing so many movement points. I want to move more this way, but I can't. Okay, so I'm going to bring these guys here to continue protecting kind of the northern flank of the spearhead. Right, so these measures we're taking here are a little defensive in nature, honestly. But look at this. Look at this. Get you up here. This is really good. Get that rifle brigade up there. Yeah, okay. Already used you. I think most of these guys have been used and their fatigue starting to climb. That is something I need to be careful of. I'm going to relocate that rifle corps. I think if I bring them all the way there, just to here. I'm just going to bring them up to here. And then in the next turn, they'll be ready. What I will do, though, is I'll take a tank corps up there. Do I take a tank corps here? Bring a tank corps here. Yeah. Let's actually take... Can both of you make it? No? You can make it, though. Now I need something... the infantry realm to reinforce them. You have that motorized unit. Let's bring them up. Okay. So at the very least, I think we'll be safe from counterattack with this stack. Just by pure weight of numbers, if anything else. Yes, yes, we'll bring that rifle corps up here. There we go. Yeah, so we are going to continue to have kind of just 1 or 2 units along both of these northern and southern flanks as we push, and we're going to maintain this spearhead of 3 wide that they have to try to contend with as we make our way towards Riga. Okay, so I'm satisfied with kind of where the spearhead is at. The other thing that I have to consider, though, is rail repair. I have not left myself in a good position for that. So let's bring you up here and repair you. Surely one of you can go back 1. Rail repair, come up here, because keeping supplies up here is going to be so freaking critical. I filled in all of these hexes a little too soon, so it's going to feel like a bit of a waste. Do I maybe move them south here? No, because I've already got you working on this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have you... Can you not repair that hex? Did I already repair that hex, maybe? Why can't I... A little confused here. It's not letting me repair. I can repair that one. Go here and repair that one. Interesting. So we're going to be 1 short here, it looks like, of connecting these, but that'll be okay. It's good progress. Back, though, between the Riga spearhead and north of Peskov, we got this little pocket here where we need to take a look at what we want to do. And I think we are going to push in a lot of these areas. Like here, I'm just going to take the rifle division and attack. They still retreated even though they had help. That's good. Because now I can take these other 2 units here and move them, relocate them. So now I have this full stack to attack here. We're still successful even though they had help again. See, that's how we do it. Back here we've got this rifle division. And we're just going to move you forward. Also move you forward. Gets us up to 38 there. And over here this is just way more than we need. We can't... Oh boy. Let's get you over here, I guess. We'll push forward just because we can there. Route at them. That's good. Do I move? Yeah, we're going to move forward. This stack can move west. Captured a depot. That's good. That is good. Doesn't look like we have enough to advance there. The tank corps can, but I don't know if I want to move the tank corps in there by itself. Mechanized unit go up there? They can. Now we'll bring up the tank corps. Puts us up to 9, so we should be just fine with that. We can also get the rifle division. Okay, that's not too bad. And then let's bring that rifle corps there. Back here now, we can take these units and just thinking here. Yeah, I think I'm going to move them to this hex. Yeah, I'm just going to do that. Now this this guy desperately needs to move forward. There we go. Good stuff there. Good stuff. So look at all of these hexes that we have advanced on. I mean, if we do this each turn, we will get Riga in 2 months. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, and then one more turned in circle. Yeah, that sounds about right. I know how much you guys love hearing someone count on a YouTube video aloud. But it's a little bit easier for me than using my hand off of the mouse to look at my fingers, so just say it aloud. Okay. Now, south of our spearhead to Riga, we had moved a couple of these units here, right, to kind of be that buffer defensive zone, 8 defensive value, 8. All of that should be plenty to hold. We've got these 2 stacks here that I'm actually going to move up here because I don't see any type of threat coming from this area of the front. So I'd much rather have these guys up here ready to support this push. And I might... Yeah, we can't attack this turn because of how far they had to move there, but that's fine. Can, however, have this guy attack here. Alright, they retreat it. And then we'll take both of these units to attack here. They held. Okay, that's fair. It was a good showing. Back here we can take these guys and look at moving them up to reinforce a little. Just going to take them there just to make sure there's not a gap in the line. I'll do something similar here. We'll take them over here. Just building this out, right? That's what we're doing. And I really am not going to press against this, right? Let them have the 294th Infantry Division, the 253rd, 251st, these full strength infantry divisions. Right? 4 of them sit here and protect what is effectively nothing. Right? I'm perfectly fine with that. Very happy with it, actually. Here I think we will move south. I'm going to take just these 2 units for now and attack. They retreat it. There we go. And now we continue building out our front line. Over here, we can advance, and we will. They retreat it. So this is a bit of a situation, I guess. Let's take this unit here. This unit here. Block them there. Oh, shoot. Did not notice they were holding the position here. Take this mechanized core here. Getting all out of sorts here with these units. I'm going to take you over here. There we go. We're just going to hold there. Right, I want this guy to be encircled. We'll take the rifle corps down here, though. Which then means we can move you forward. Move you forward. Forward 2, actually. Move you both over here. There we go. We have 2 units here. I will take the weaker one. Have them come up here. Alright. Well, that's all very good stuff. All very good. Then we have our encirclement here. the 2 infantry divisions and the Netherlands SS Infantry Regiment. I think we'll attack again just to force their consumption of supplies. They held. It's fine. But we will keep them surrounded. They really don't have any prayer of getting out. Because even if they went north here, they're just surrendering a more defensible position to then be surrounded up here. So there's not really anywhere for them to go. They will hold that as long as they can, and to their credit, they are holding up what is effectively about an army's worth of men. So I mean, in that sense, it is really working for them. The downside is they're going to end up losing 2 infantry divisions, which may be as many as 20 or 30,000 men all said and done by the time they all surrender. And that is a lot for the Axis player to lose in one turn. Won't be this turn, though. Continuing along on the front, this push towards Minsk is really kind of stalled, and that's fine. Because again, this was kind of seen as a bit of a benefit, and if we look at that historical date, right? It's not until, again, July of next year that historically they took Minsk. And it is not going to take us 12 months to go counting aloud again for you. Six hexes from our current point in the front. So if I just move 1 hex every 2 months, we're good. But we're not going to move this turn. So that will all stay, I think, pretty static here where everyone's situated, because I don't want to expend resources just to get a quick victory or something here, because I don't have the men currently to be able to expand my front line here. This is about as much as I can support. And already see, right, I have these gaps in my front. So we're just going to leave this. And honestly, they have a lot of potential for counterattack here with 13th Panzer, 12th Panzer. I thought they had another one over here. Perhaps they relocated it. I know they have the 11th up here. This is the SS Panzer Grenadier Division. So they have a lot of firepower down here in the south. So we're not going to press anything in this area. It's all going to stay right where they're at. Let's see. I am going to, though, just looking at this. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Not expecting a counterattack there, but it's a much better defensive position. Well, hell, let's even do that. Now, here we have encircled the 31st Infantry Division. That was a lot of fun, and really glad they did not counterattack. The threat now is that they do have that SS Panzer Grenadier Division and the 11th Panzer. And they could easily break through us next turn here in this hex. Right? That is a very real threat that we are currently facing. So I'm going to take, for example, this unit. Just up here, I think. And we will take 17th Guards Rifle Corps down south. That gets us to 17. That's still not enough. The Mechanized Brigade will be the next that we'll take out. Just move them here for now. We'll take this Rifle Corps south as well. So that gets us up to 22. They have 47. Here we'll take a Rifle Corps and move them over. Take another Rifle Corps, I guess. There we go. And then we can take this Rifle Division south. 26. Perfect. We're also going to take a look at what we can do in terms of support units, if any are available to us. The Tank Brigade is a little too low TOE for me. We'll toss in that Anti-Tank Regiment, even though it's a little low, because they certainly are going to come at us with armor, I think. The Ski Brigade, let's take them off and see what else is available. And do this Anti-Tank Regiment instead. So yeah, 22, 24. If they attack, it's going to be a heck of a battle. The question is now, do I attack from my northern units here? I think I will, actually. So let's take these guys and attack. It's 50 to 11. They surrendered. Okay, I'm glad I did that, actually, because then it doesn't risk their potential escape. That's good. Feeling really good about that. We'll let them actually just sit in the rear, I think, for a turn there. Maybe I'll turn you to reserve. Move you up. Same thing here. Set you to reserve. There we go. Weakened this hex a little, but I think the threat of counterattack from the east is a little less now. So I think that was the right call. Okay. Okay. Continuing on here. This is kind of a similar story to the Minsk pocket, right? Of just don't quite have the resources to be able to break through anywhere. We'd taken this unit back for refit. Looks like they're good to go now. So we can take them south. The question now is which hex? I think we probably have more of a gap in this area where they could be used. Considering they have that Panzer division there. I think I'm just going to bring them down here. Yeah, this is all going to have to stay very static. Just don't have the men right now to push through here. Now the good news though is that as we look south from this position, we wouldn't really be pushing towards anything in particular, right? There's not some grand target to push towards. So it's a little okay, I think, that we're going to skip past that. And again, the whole fact that we're tying up things like this full strength 7th Panzer Division, it's just music to my ears looking at this. And these guys are on refit, but I think I'm going to take one of you off, move you up here, gets you to 27, which is going to be enough to deter a counterattack, I think. More units on refit here. I think I can leave them another turn. I can spare them another turn. Set you to reserve, though. And let's actually, over here, I want to do the same thing. We'll set you to reserve. You are definitely doing okay, I think. Yeah, 90% is going to be close enough for you. So let's bring you forward. Ooh, question is where? Kind of want to bring you south to continue and help with the push to Kursk, I think. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to bring you right up here. And we'll have you attack this turn, that's fine. Cavalry division was committed, but we still won. Captured a depot. Nice. Very nice. Let's, boy, it's tempting to try to push through in that hex, isn't it? The 20th Panzer. Let's do it. Let's get a little aggressive against the 20th Panzer Division. It's 2-to-1 odds. Oh, they had a light division committed. That might be the tipping point. Do they hold? They held. Shoot. Okay. Well, now what I have to do is take this 357th Rifle Division, which is now in an unready state, my goodness. Move you back to this hex. I'm going to set you to refit. Ah, shoot. Okay. Well, that is what it is. We'll take these two stacks and attack here. Retreat at them. Here I'm going to move up. And we'll attack here. Again, retreat it. take this stack and move forward. Treat at them. Good. So this is actually a great parallel to what I'm experiencing right now in my 1941 campaign, where it's, my goodness, there's no defensible terrain around Kursk here, right? This is just all open, clear terrain. And it is showing with our ease of which we're going through some of these areas. Especially once you get past, say, a point in their line where they have their fortification levels up. But before we continue on here with Kursk, I actually think this is going to be a good stopping point for the episode. We made it pretty far along the front, which is going to give us a lot of time in the next episode to go quite a bit in depth here and see what we can do at the end of turn in terms of clerical and administrative stuff. Maybe look at some, maybe a leader, 2 leaders, now that we have our administration points going up a little bit more, or maybe if we should look at constructing some units. So, yeah, this has been a heck of a lot of fun. Really excited to cut off Army Group North by getting to Riga in the next couple months here. Thank you so much, everyone, for your continued support, watching the channel. If you got any questions, comments, or feedback, please do toss them in the comments section. I went through a bulk of them about a week ago and got quite a few comments in. I got a little behind there. Going to try to stay on top of that a little better, so please keep raising questions and putting your comments, so I really appreciate seeing them. And yeah, at the end of the day, strategy gamers, as always, hoping you have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.